Okay, let's start out with a fun little experiment. Look at the image on the screen right now. Yep, it's just a clock. Probably looks pretty boring to you. Now, do you want to take a wild guess about how long you've been looking at it for? No peeking? Come on, make a mental note. Okay, stop now and write down your estimate. How accurate were you? What about now? Still focusing on that clock. How much longer do you think you've been staring at it this time? Whatever your guess is, the answer is yes. You've been looking at that clock for less time than you think. This may seem crazy, but according to Albert Einstein's theory of special relativity, your perception of time is relative to where you are and how fast you're moving. This means that although we all experience time in a seemingly uniform way, everyone ages at slightly different rates depending on their circumstances. So while you were watching that clock, if you had a sudden urge to get up and move, you would be technically correct in saying that you've been looking at it for less time than you expected. That's because time slows down for objects in motion. On a large scale, this effect called time dilation is most noticeable when something is traveling at or close to the speed of light. However, it happens at even the smallest speeds too. If you could somehow measure the difference between sitting still and walking, you would find that you age slightly slower when walking. And the faster you move, the slower time goes. In contrast, time goes faster when you're closer to a strong gravitational field, like on the surface of the Earth. This is why GPS satellites orbiting around the planet have to account for time dilation in order to maintain accuracy. They have atomic clocks on board, which are incredibly precise timers that rely on the vibrations of atoms. These clocks tick faster because they reef further away from Earth's gravitational pull than those of us on the ground. To compensate for this, engineers have to adjust the satellite clocks by about 45 seconds per year to keep them synchronized with clocks on Earth. This can all sound quite confusing and technical, and that's okay if it does. What matters is that you understand the basic concept. Time is not constant. It's influenced by both movement and gravity. Your perception of time is always changing based on where you are and how fast you're moving. Which leads us to an interesting question. Since time is always changing, at what point do we say that time travel has occurred? Because if time is constantly shifting and we can't actually pinpoint a single moment in time, then it could be argued that we're technically time travelers all the time. Perhaps it's not so far-fetched to suggest that we're all time travelers. After all, we've been experiencing time dilation our whole lives. But some forms of time travel are more exciting than others. So now let us turn our attention to another phenomenon that alters our experience of time: our memories. Think about it. We tend to remember things in a non-linear fashion. Some memories stick out vividly, while others fade into the background. It's like your brain decides which moments are important enough to hold on to and which ones can be let go of. This selective process can make it feel like time is passing quickly or slowly depending on what you focus on. For example, imagine you're spending a day at the beach. You build a sand castle, splash around in the water, and collect seashells. When you look back on that day, you may not remember every minute detail, but certain moments will stand out. Maybe you remember the feeling of the warm sun on your skin, the taste of the salty ocean spray, or the laughter of friends and family. These are your memories. And they're not just random snapshots of the past. They're carefully curated moments that your brain has deemed important enough to hold on to. Our memories essentially act as personal time machines, allowing us to revisit specific points in our past. When you think back to that day at the beach, you're mentally time traveling to a specific point in the past. You're reliving a moment that happened at a particular time and place. But what makes this even more fascinating is that our memories can also affect how we perceive time in the present. Some psychologists believe that nostalgia, or the longing for a past time period, can make us feel disconnected from the present. We become so absorbed in our memories that we lose track of time. We feel like we're living in the past rather than the present. This can happen consciously when we reminisce about a favorite childhood memory, or it can happen subconsciously. When we notice similarities between our present environment and a past place, for example, if you smell freshly cut grass, you might be transported back to your childhood home without even realizing it. This phenomenon is so powerful that it's been studied by neuroscientists. Using brain imaging techniques such as fMRI, researchers have found that the same areas of the brain light up when you recall a memory as when you experience something new. This suggests that our memories are not just passive recollections of the past, but active reconstructions of past experiences that involve the same brain regions and processes as perceiving the world around us. This means that in a sense, we're always mentally time traveling, whether we realize it or not. Our memories allow us to relive past experiences and immerse ourselves in different times and places. And while this may not be the type of time travel that we see in movies, it's just as remarkable. But what if we could enhance our ability to remember and control our thoughts? Imagine being able to access your memories at will, like flipping through a mental time travel journal. Or what if you could erase painful memories and replace them with positive ones? While this may sound like science fiction, it's not as far-fetched as you might think. Advances in neuroscience and artificial intelligence are blurring the line between fantasy and reality. Researchers are developing new ways to stimulate specific areas of the brain to evoke memories. One study published in Nature in 2022 described a technique in which researchers use magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI, to stimulate a part of the brain responsible for autobiographical memory. When they activated this area of the brain, participants were able to recall specific memories with vivid detail. Another study, published in the journal Neuron in 2023, reported that researchers were able to use focused ultrasound to stimulate the entorhinal cortex, another area of the brain involved in memory. Participants in the study were able to remember specific events from their childhood with remarkable clarity after their entorhinal cortex was stimulated. While these studies are still in their early stages, they offer a tantalizing glimpse into the future of memory research. Imagine a world where we can access our memories with ease, where we can relive our happiest moments whenever we want or share them with loved ones. It's not a far-fetched idea anymore. As technology advances, we're getting closer and closer to unlocking the secrets of our memories and controlling them in ways we never thought possible. And who knows? Maybe one day soon we'll be able to edit our memories, choosing which moments to remember and which ones to forget. And if you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. So there you have it. We're all time travelers whether we realize it or not. Time is always changing, and our experience of it is constantly shifting based on where we are and how fast we're moving. Our memories allow us to relive past experiences and immerse ourselves in different times and places. And advances in technology are bringing us closer to being able to control our memories and access them at will. But what do you think? How do you experience time? And what do you think the future of time travel will bring? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button to stay up to date on all our latest videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.